I don't manage like any of my properties. I guess you're wondering why? So a lot of people don't want to pay 10% management. You know, if I've got a £700 property per month, they're getting 70 quid plus VAT a lot of the time. I've got the mortgage to be paying, I've got the insurance, I'm taking all of the risk, and I'm paying everything down on the interest-only mortgage. I'm left with a couple hundred quid, you're getting 70 quid. Hardly seems fair. So why do I do it? Well, a big part of it is about how much I'm valuing my time and, honestly, the lack of experience. So from a time point of view, what time do you believe goes into finding a tenant? Now you might think, well, just put it up online somewhere, get some tenants in, have a chat with them, put the best one in, right? Well, no, not quite actually. First of all, advertising it costs thousands. I've got Rightmove, I've got Zoopla, I've got On the Market. It costs thousands every single month. And obviously, if you're only listing one property, then that's not worthwhile. But then you've also got, oh, I need to take the time and call every single application, which 90% of them are not applicable. Either it's out of their price range, they've got some sort of CCJ or something wrong on their credit file, and so much more that the landlord, or you in this case, doesn't actually want. Then you need to go and actually, after qualifying them, doing all of the inspections with them. So you go and do a viewing with them, make sure they're happy with the property. You probably need to do 5 to 10 viewings, at which point you might have 3 to 4 people saying, I want this property. You then assess what you think is the best one based on what they're earning, looking at their bank statements, looking at their background, looking at their job, have they passed probation. You're then going to pay for an external credit check on them to make sure that there's no undesirable things that you're not seeing on the surface. I'd say there's maybe a 1 in 10 chance that that could go wrong as well. Let's say it doesn't go wrong, then you've got to do it. Then you need to do everything right on the compliance, and don't get me started there. This is where the experience comes in. You probably don't know half the regulations that a lettings manager has to end up doing, but you've got the right to let, you've got the AST, you've got all of the checks. You need to make sure that it's actually affordable, and they've even got the rights to rent it in the first place. Then after doing that, you need to get everything signed. Then you need to come and collect the keys. Then they need to go there. No doubt they'll end up going there and go, oh, this is missing, that's missing, we need to get this, and then we need to do all of that. So would you do all of that for essentially at best 840 quid for an entire year? And then they leave, then you've got the complaints, then you've got phone calls, then you've got the boiler going wrong during winter. Who do you think they call? Not you, the lettings manager. And I don't know about you, but I think all of the time invested in that you could spend elsewhere. And I can say this from personal experience. I actually own a lettings agency right now, and I'll be completely honest, it wasn't part of my vision to own a lettings agency. It's actually a part of Aspire Property Group, which is my portfolio building service where we do everything end to end. And I thought, how can I manage the control of this more, adding more value to our clients? So as of November last year, we started our letting agency, and I'm going to be honest with you, it makes a loss. Now, at some point, will it make a profit? Yes, but it is a lot of upfront effort. In theory, it gets more chilled throughout the tenancy, but from what I'm seeing now, it is a lot of effort, and I'm even more inclined to say I don't do them. And believe it or not, even the ones that I'm now buying, I'm still giving to my letting agency and still paying the fee. The other 3 things that I think we forget that a letting agent does, which in my opinion, even one of these makes it worthwhile for the 10% of the rent. Number 1, checking your property a couple of times a year, maybe once a quarter in some situations. Whereas when we self-manage, we often end up just completely neglecting that. The tenant's paying, leave them to it, happy days. Whereas actually, a good letting management company will be viewing the properties, will be inspecting the properties, and making sure that the tenant is treating it like their home. The next thing is making sure you're getting the appropriate rent. Now, what a letting agent will do, I'll give a great example. We've got one with our investor where we honestly thought about 675 to 700 rent. We listed it at 700. We got so much demand for that property that we then said, without the investor talking to us, saying, hey, look, we're now putting it to 750. We've got too many people interested. Rented it out the next week at 750. Now you might think, it's 50 quid. It's like, well, this is the same 50 quid you're moaning about using a letting agent as a cost. They've just made that back. And so that's £600 a year, pure profit minus 10%. So let's say 45 quid, pure profit. The letting agent got an extra £5 a month for negotiating that, but a good agent will do that again and again. Finally, my favorite one, void periods. With a lettings management company that are good at what they do, they take care of absolutely everything, including renting out your property. Now, why do they put so much energy in getting rented? Because they don't actually earn any money before that, but they do spend a lot of money, spend a lot of time getting everything, photos, generation, the copy for the advert, everything put together, maybe a floor plan to get it rented out in the first place. That's a lot of upfront energy in order to not make a lot. And often, if you've bought a property or two, you'll know you've got your full-time job, you're busy, you might take some calls in the evening. But because we're earning for whatever we are from the job, we end up neglecting it. And think about it this way, this £700 property, it doesn't actually matter if they're charging us 10%. If you have 1 month void, that is the same as paying 10 months of a letting agent. I'm going to say that again. 1 month worth of void period, if you're doing it on your own, is worth 10 months cost of having a letting agent. So hey, that's just my opinion, but personally, I am buying property to be hands-free. I am an investor, not a landlord. I'm not gonna go look at the boiler. I'm not gonna go do the inspections. Honestly, most of the time I don't go to the property at all, even when I'm buying it. I value my time a lot more than my money, and so whilst I respect the money, I also value the input and the charge that I'm paying to have somebody that is an expert doing the hard work for me. And hey, if you're watching this saying, I completely get it, Jamie, my time is valuable and I'd rather outsource that, then maybe Aspire Property Group is for you. So what we do is an end-to-end service where we find, negotiate, get it through legals, get it refurbed and get it managed for you so you're completely hands-free. So if you've got the money, 50 to 100k minimum, and you want to invest in property, you want us to build your portfolio, put APG in the comments. I hope you got value from this video. Let me know, do you use a letting manager? Do you not use it? And why? Let me know in the comments and I'll get back to as many as possible. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn more about property investment, make sure to hit the subscribe and the notification bell. And if you did get value, destroy the like button and I'll see you in the next video.